Our first speaker is here. Yes, Dr. Matthew Wallace is here. Dr. Wallace, you're welcome. I want to quickly give a brief introduction. Dr. Matthew Wallace is a senior program specialist at the International Development Research Center, IDRC, the grant sponsor of the engineering design competition. He has a master's degree both in physics and science and technology studies, and he has a PhD in history of science. He has been working in the science policy field for over a decade. Dr. Matthew Wallace, we're so glad to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Professor Edwomi and other colleagues from S2P for inviting me to join. As you know, so I've been involved in this project as the funder for almost 3 years now, and it's very nice to see what kind of progress the project is making. It's part of five projects across the continent that are doing really amazing, sort of innovative things with regards to engineering. So it's really a pleasure to be able to join. So I do appreciate the chance to be able to speak to you. So for those of you who don't know IDRC, this is a sort of arm's length government organization in Canada that supports research and capacity strengthening in the global south. We're essentially a funding agency, but we work much more with universities and organizations like that. And so it's really also a great honor to be working with some of the folks here from University of Lagos and other universities in Nigeria, which I was able to visit about 2 years ago now, just before the pandemic, luckily. So we're relatively small, but we have a kind of niche focus on research and education. And in particular, the program that I work in is called Education and Science, how countries, regions are able to undertake research, innovation, train people at a high level, and so forth. So this project on engineering really fits into that. And the genesis behind the project was really a few things, and this is many years ago, but realizing that obviously there are gaps in terms of the numbers of engineers being trained in sub-Saharan Africa. But I think more important than just the number is that there are gaps in terms of the employability of engineers. We took all of these elements and we tried to design a program that could respond to different pieces of this puzzle around engineering and around that transition to the working in the private sector and sort of being part of that broader ecosystem. So this is where the project or the initiative rather gets its name, around strengthening engineering ecosystems in sub-Saharan Africa. Coming back to this idea of skills, technology is transforming the work that we do, and technology is really transforming the labor market. But what's perhaps more important than that when we talk about skills is really changing the way this is taught in and evaluated at the university level, because this is really fundamentally about making good use of the technology available and preparing students for kind of using these new technologies. I mention this because it's very relevant to what S2P is doing in really kind of revolutionizing the types of skills that students are learning. So this is critical, right? And the second sort of comes back to this idea of an engineering ecosystem, right? And what role does the university, the classroom more specifically, play in this ecosystem? And engineering is kind of a unique, as you know more better than I am, because I'm not an engineer myself, a unique thing, because it's both a discipline, it's a series of tools, theories, modules, courses, things that you associate with discipline. And it's also a profession, the same way we have, professions, a medical profession or nursing profession, and so forth. So to change engineering, you have to think about the discipline, what's being taught kind of in a formal way, and then how people organize as a profession, and how it's regulated and so forth. So when we look at this, it's actually students that are at the core of this kind of transformation, and teaching and evaluation is at the core of this transformation. And the reason being that changing the profession is not something that you can do in the same way that you regulate another sector of the economy or something. It is about the people that form the profession, so the people that go on to become engineers and so forth. And so the idea behind changing the way teaching is done and evaluation is done in engineering is that the next generation will have a very different view of what it means to be an engineer, and what opportunities there are, how much entrepreneurship skills are needed to be an engineer. And I think this is really an opportunity to change this very dramatically in a way, even though we're talking about one case or one pilot project, if you will. It really has the potential to sort of catalyze important changes, maybe several years down the road, in terms of how we think of the profession. Coming back to what Prof. Adewumi said at the beginning, is that this is really about what is the role ultimately of engineering in supporting development outcomes for Sub-Saharan Africa, for Nigeria. And I think when I read about some of the projects that are being done, and some of the innovations in terms of methods of teaching and learning, I really see that linkage between what students are doing and testing out, and what faculty are doing, and what faculty also are learning, and the tools that we need to really contribute to national priorities, or regional priorities in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa. So this is a transformative project in all senses of the word, and it's leading by example. It's not just leading by theorizing different things. So I just wanted to close by saying thank you very much for participating, for leading the charge, and I look forward to hearing more about it.